Welcome everyone again to our exclusive webinar as far as the My Runners, miEverest campaign is concerned. And October 17 and the $15 million Everest is looming extremely large on our radar. It's about week 5 of the webinars, but we have actually climbed our very own Everest, I reckon, with a special guest tonight for all our micro slot holders to enjoy. We'll probe him about what it's like to win an Everest. We'll probe him about the pressure of an Everest and also about the celebrations of winning an Everest. I'm glad to say we have time to climb the top of the mountain, and Glen Boss joins us. G'day, Bossy.
G'day, TK. Great to see you, pal.
It's an exciting race, mate, isn't it? October 17 will loom large, but it's a different sort of feel about that race day, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's a different feel because it assembles what is traditionally known as probably what Australians are really gravitate to as sprinters. And a lot of these sprinters, most Australians know, so they gravitate really quickly towards this concept. It's obviously massive prize money. It's at Royal Randwick, which is probably one of the best race courses in Australia. Over that sizzling trip over 1,200 metres, and generally you just get all the best names for the race. And I think in its small inception, like it's in its third year, I can't believe a race has gravitated and got to the heights it's got so quickly. And I think obviously we've seen Red Zell come out and win it 2 years in a row, but then it really threw a different spin into the works last year when a young three-year-old, a spring three-year-old come out and beat them. Beat probably the best sprinting field I think we've seen in probably a decade or more. So it really opened this race up to be, I think people are going to look at it very seriously as a legitimate Group 1 race and a legitimate breeding right, a three-year-old to go and like a colt that goes on to this sort of race.
Well, yes. Certainly filled that brief, mate. I know you won't mind, mate, just in case of our viewers can't remember that race. I'm sure you remember every second of it. Let's go back to that Everest and watch Bossy guide, yes, to be.
With 2 Group 1s under his belt, he's drawn the outside. He's the last to go in. The light is on for the Everest, the TAB Everest, and the gates are back. They're off at a great start. Sunlight Classique Legend of Jump Wheeler, together with Nature Strip going forward. Red Zell's right there. Arcadia Queen is very handy as well within her time. This is a great go up in the early stages with Sunlight pushing forward. Nature Strip the outside. Red Zell will just take a tug back into third, followed by In Her Time. Arcadia Queen's in 5th, 2 further back to Classique Legend. They're followed off the track to Elise going forward from Parada. Yes, 10 Sovereign, Santa Ana Lane, and Trekking's the last one. Nature Strip got to the fence, leads by a length on Red Zell. Sunlight back to third. Arcadia Queen's pushing out. In Her Time is next. Elise right behind from Classique Legend, and further back to Parada creeping into it. Santa Ana Lane 5 off them, looking for room, getting to the outside now. Nature Strip at the 200, 2 in front to Red Zell. Yes is winding up. Further back then to Trekking and Santa Ana Lane. The colt, yes, takes the lead. Santa Ana Lane is charging at the end. Yes, wins the Everest. Beats Santa Ana Lane. Trekking third, followed by Nature Strip and Parade.
It's hard to believe you actually got the jockey's percentage for that, mate. You didn't have to do much, did you? The horse did everything.
No, he did. He was magnificent. Yes, last year, and looking for the next one, Tiga. But like, as you were saying before, this is going to be one of them races. Like as soon as it's finished, because the slot holders own that slot, or they're people are trying to buy the slot for that race. It's almost a 12-month process. So the build-up, it starts straight after the race finishes. People are looking for the next year, or people are trying to negotiate to buy a slot or buy part of a slot. And the process starts a long way out. So the build-up towards a race, especially last year, because we had this great mare from Western Australia come over here. We had Red Zell, so there was all different form angles coming from different ways. So that part of it was intriguing. All the slot holders, they've got a chance to be part of something really big. So it's completely different from what we've seen from any other big race previously in what I've ridden, that's for sure.
Mate, the great thing about it, this coming up on October 17 too, Bossy, if you're not aware, the My Runners organisation have bought one of those slots. So they've divided that into 1,000 micro slots. So we've already sold a majority of those units, which is so exciting to have the normal, everyday Aussie involved in the world's richest race on turf, which is really, really exciting. So everyone's so intrigued about it.
Yeah, this is what I'm interested in too, TK. Like, I mean, yeah, to think that you can get all those participants involved in one lot and potentially be involved in something that's very unique. It's a different demographic. It's selling to a little bit more the younger people, and I think Sydney has lacked that one thing that they can grab hold to say, you know what, we've got something like the Melbourne Cups. Obviously, they've got Cox Plate. The slippers sort of lost a bit of its shine over the years. So Sydney was looking for that thing, that one thing that we can say, okay, this is, so through Volandes and the team, they've come up with this concept. And I mean, it could have went pear-shaped, but it went the other way. It went through the ceiling and beyond. So yeah, to be part of it, the build-up, the months that went into it, and then the weeks just before it was very, very exciting because like yes, last year, we actually didn't know we got him into the race. It was only like 10 days before. There were negotiations going on. Was he the right colt? Bivouac was they thought about putting him in as a 3-year-old and they pulled out. And then we turned towards yes. And like it virtually happened 8 days before. So it's terribly exciting to think that, all this is going on. And if you've got 1,000 members that are involved in that goings on, geez, I tell you, it's quite exciting. It doesn't matter how much small share you've got, you're still part of it.
Exactly right. And Bossy, can you imagine it when you think you can walk into the track on October 17, Royal Randwick, and you go, I've got a runner in the Everest. So my first foray into horse ownership could be not only having a runner in the world's richest race on turf, but also maybe winning the world's richest race on turf. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. I'm telling you, because the yes owners, there was a massive amount of owners in that horse last year. There wasn't just one owner. I can't tell you how many, maybe 50 or 60 small shares in that horse. It changed their life. Some of them had never been to the races before. And to see the look in their faces after I won the race when we did the presentation, their eyes were like dinner plates. They'd never experienced this before. So it changed their life for certain going forward. And it'll bring them back into the game because they'll be looking to try and get back into this in this spring.
Yeah, well, you mentioned what yes last year didn't get that slot really to, it was either 9 days or 11 days before the race, which was quite remarkable. Do you think it's going to become a 3-year-olds race now? I mean, a lot of those old warriors, they're tough old buggers to get by, as you know, in those Group 1 sprints, but a lot of them are sort of dropped away. So it's probably going to be one of the young up-and-coming stars. Obviously, we've got Nature Strip there as a justified favourite, no doubt about that. But you never know what leaps out of the ground, do you? Like, yes.
Well, it's an intriguing question because it's early in the 3-year-old season. Like the spring is very, so you've got to look for that precocious 2-year-old who would definitely come up early as a 3-year-old because, they're still developing as a young horse. And some of them have probably only just turned 3 at that stage of their life. They might be late fall. So it's a decision for the horse itself. Like the horse will tell the trainer, obviously, and we're only looking at a very small percentage of colts or fillies even that are capable of actually mixing it with the best. And believe me, because the slot owners don't want to just have a horse in there to have a run of the day. Every slot owner wants a good horse because they think, they want to win. Simple as that. So they're not going to pick just a 3rd-ranked or 2nd-ranked horse. They are going to pick the best 3-year-old possible, whether it be a filly or a colt. And it's really up to that horse. As like we've seen him in the spring. And what they do from the spring we've seen in the autumn, what they do from the autumn to the spring is dramatic for 2-year-olds going to their 3-year-old season. Some put their hand up and some don't.
Well, Bossy, look, you tell us, right? But there's no doubt about the glitz and the glamour of the Everest worth $15 million. You've won 3 Melbourne Cups, you've won Cox Plates, you've won Golden Slippers. What's the feeling of winning an Everest, which has only been going for a few years, compared to winning the biggest races previously in the country? Is it different or the same?
Well, the feeling it was quite incredible for me. Obviously, TK, I only just not long got back to Sydney and trying to establish myself, and things were starting to happen. So there was a lot of emotion from me involved. So going into this race, but to actually get on this horse about 10 days before, I only rode this horse twice in my life. One was in a gallop, and I got off him and I told Chris Waller that I honestly believe this horse will win the Everest. I couldn't see him getting beat. He just gave me this feel, and then for him to come out and do it. But so there was a lot going on behind the scenes that no one's seen, which obviously the shareholders, me and Chris knew about. So going past the winning post and winning, it was right up there with the Melbourne Cup. It was because there was a massive crowd, this huge build-up. Obviously, there's massive prize money, and all of a sudden, you've turned a colt into a $40 or $50 million animal. Well, that's bizarre, right? You're sitting on a $50 million colt. Like it just blows you away, and to think that you're a part of that. And a week before that was not even on the radar. It's just, this is what can actually happen in this sport, and this is the race that can do it for you.
I think about you, it's a long way from rounding up cows, isn't it, at Caboolture as a kid, and then starting your apprenticeship out there at Gympie, I think. Geez, Gympie to winning Melbourne Cups and Everest, and yeah, you've had your ups and downs as well, mate, and fought back and running as good as ever. It's been quite a career, buddy.
Oh, I think we met when I was about 20 or 18 when I was hanging with Brisbane Broncos. So you've seen me go along the whole way. But yeah, listen, but you know, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you're in business or you're in sport. There's challenges and there's obstacles that you have to jump over and things that you have to manoeuvre and to navigate your path. And because it's, you know, to get to a certain level, it's not paved with gold. I'll tell you that. It's never. And these moments like winning Everest and those sort of races, and they're like the race goes for about 1 minute and 8 seconds, you know, and you get the feeling for about 1 or 2 seconds after the line. So these are the moments that we truly cherish. So they're only small moments, but they're big as far as the feelings that you get.
Mate, we've had some of our micro slot holders that have fired in some questions. Do you mind taking a couple?
Absolutely. Send them through.
Here we go. I think this is a bit of inside knowledge here from Will. He goes, when riding Yes, Yes, Yes or any other top liner, what makes a group horse feel differently? I suppose it's like driving a Lexus or a Maserati compared to a Datsun, right? Says Will. And of course, you're lucky enough to be sponsored by Maserati, mate.
I mean, I get this question so often, what makes the difference? I mean, you know, then and when I talk about a very small percentage of the champions, and I truly thought when I got on Yes, 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 this is the horse I've been looking for a decade. You know, I had Makai, so you think, but I've been looking for another great horse and I finally thought I found the search, and I only rode him twice, but I knew the first time I rode him, this could be that next good horse. Unfortunately, through injury, we never seen him, but we did see what he was capable of doing that one day. But to your listener, the difference is when you get in a Maserati or you're driving a Toyota Corolla. That's far off the Richter scale. And your Toyota Corolla might get the job done in a good race, but the Maserati, when you get in that, you just know that you're surrounded by opulence and you got power underneath the boot.
Well, this one comes in from Michael. Glenn, if you could pick any unslotted horse as his ride in this year's Everest, who would you want to be on, says Michael. I don't know whether you'd even know yet.
Oh, last year's slipper winner, Gay. No, is it? Yeah.
Yep, Farnham.
Yeah, that's him.
Yep.
He looks very precocious. I underestimated him. I ran second to him in the slipper, and he is one hell of a colt. Nature Strip looks like B1 at this stage, but we've seen Nature Strip crumble under real pressure before. That mightn't be the case this season, but and I thought Bivouac, the way he won the Newmarket this year, there wouldn't be a sprinter in Australia that would beat him if he runs to that rating again.
Well, here's one. Sandy says on that too, mate. And a lot of people say this, by the way. Sandy says, would a good 1,400 metre horse be a good choice. You've got to get up that rise. It's not like the old rise, is it, at Randwick? But you need a strong horse over that 1200.
Well, you do need a strong horse, but the current favourite you'd say wouldn't run 1400 well.
No.
They've just got to be able to maintain. It's a specialist distance, I grant you that. But you've got to be able to absorb pressure and maintain a good gallop and turn a speed. You know what I mean? I know Nate's going back to the favourite. He looks like he doesn't possess turner speed because he just keeps running but he surprisingly runs. He's unbelievably quick last 600. So you've got to have a horse that's got to be able to just absorb speed early and then be able to quicken off that. I wouldn't necessarily say you need a 1400 horse to do that.
Mate, this comes from Peter. He goes, Bossy, the Everest isn't a Group 1. It should be and it will be. But how does that compare to other group races?
Oh, well, it's probably recognised very quickly around the world as probably the best sprint race in Australia. I know we've got the Coolmore and we've got Oakland Plates and we've got Newmarkets. I think this has quickly got itself level with these particular races. And I think when it gets to Group 1 level, which the patent will come through very soon, I'm sure, it'll surpass these races.
This is a good one. Is there a big Group 1 jockey you fear? Who would it be? Who's your toughest opponent, I think they're asking?
Well, I believe the GOAT at the moment is D. Oliver. He's been the GOAT for a decade and he continues to be the GOAT. You just got to look at his record, how long he's been doing it, and that's what a GOAT is. The definition of a GOAT is they've been doing this for a long time at a very high level and then continue to do it. Even when young people come up, they just keep doing it better.
I've got to probably ask you, Bossy, too. I mean, did you think at any stage that maybe your career was sort of over and then, like the last 12 months have been quite phenomenal for you? You're sort of back bigger and better than ever, particularly on big race days. And I guess that's the criticism you've often copped, isn't it? That, he rides pretty good on big race days and Group 1s, but I think you've won 86 Group 1s or close enough to it.
Yeah.
But, it's the consistency of the ride. Is that just a perception, mate?
I think it's perception. I think it's just, I looked at getting into morning breakfast radio and I thought I couldn't at 3:30 in the morning every morning like you used to. But no, listen.
No way, mate.
I've had a very good career. I've been very blessed. I take it for granted. I'm 50 now. I don't take these days for granted. Yes, I do go up for the big days. I'm not sorry to say that, but yes, I do fire up for the big days. These are the days where we're supposed to shine. As an athlete, I'm not going to put myself in any high regard, but if you're any athlete, this is what you train and work hard to do to get in these moments and fire. Because if you're given an opportunity, TK, it means zero if you don't do anything with it. If someone gives you a good horse to ride, that's an opportunity. You actually have to deliver. And that's the mindset. That's how I tend to do it. I mean, and I'm very proud of these. People just say I'm a good Group 1 rider. I think that's a very big rap.
Yeah, it's like having
It's a big rap.
It's right up there like having the golden slipper curse. It's a curse you'd like to have, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm only a good midweek rider on a good Tuesday. On a Tuesday, I ride really good on a midweek.
Yeah, second leg of the daily double. Bossy, it's quite remarkable, really, when you think about this Everest and just how it has captured everyone's imagination at such a short period of time, which is quite amazing. And currently, this one is probably more wide open than ever. So you haven't really got your eye on any particular horse apart from maybe the Slipper winner Farnham from last year.
Well, I've got feelers out there, obviously, and we'll see. These horses have only just come into work, and so we've got a little bit of water to go under the bridge. But I'm interested in your micro slot. Like, where is the demographic? Is it anything come from overseas, or is it any state is bigger than others, or?
Do you know? Well, New South Wales has been the most popular state so far. So the majority, you can still go to the website myrunners/myeverest.com.au, and you can still get a slot, a micro slot. But actually, your home state has been a little bit of a surprise packet. So 30%, the majority of micro slots are sold, but 30% of the buyers have all come from Queensland.
Oh, wow.
And what we've done, Bossy, is try to, and I guess they would have been pretty happy with what they saw with Rothbike, winning that JJ Atkins as well. So, yeah, the Queenslanders are well and truly involved in the Everest.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad because I'm sure as this grows and this micro slot will grow, you'll have a bigger demographic. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
And mate, I won't keep you much longer, but just you make all the other jockeys jealous, not only because you've got 86 Group 1s, right? But you're
91 actually.
Not how many?
91.
91 now. Only 9 to go, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm going for the ton.
Don't go like my old on-air partner in Slats. He was out 9 times in 90.
Yeah, get the 90 jitters.
The nervous 90s. He did suffer from it.
Yeah.
But when you think of it, you're still a natural lightweight, so you can actually eat food as a jockey, which is quite remarkable.
Well, I think that's what kept me in the game so long, and like I'm healthy. You know, I eat very well. Give up the alcohol a long time ago at TK, and I've got to, I train really hard most days with a personal trainer. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, TK, when you get to this age, you realise that things don't come as easy as they used to. And to be on that level with these young guys, you've actually got to work a lot harder than them to be at that same level. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't got much longer in the game, but what time I've got left, I'm going to make very useful because you're time retired.
Yeah, you are, mate. Just before we go, what about something sneaky for Saturday on the weekend? I think you got Time to Rain coming back.
Rain, I actually go with him on Tuesday, and if he's 2 lengths off his best, he'll beat these by 2. That's how good a horse he is. He's a very good horse. He doesn't mind soft ground, which we're going to get at Rosehill. He's had 2 strong trials, so I mean, he's obviously he's carrying a bit of weight with an awkward draw. But like I said, if he's 2 lengths off his best, he'll beat these by because he's back a benchmark race. So I'd imagine he can win.
Bossy, I can't thank you enough, mate, for your time. Our micro slot holders have been very, very grateful for your insight you've given them to the Everest. And who knows, mate, we're cheering for you if you're in our slot to go back to back in the Everest.
Well, I'd like to see 1,000 people there with their micro slots on Everest Day. And wow, wouldn't that be something if they were part of the winning team? I swear to God, that'd be some party that you'd have to try and organise.
And I'm the right man for the job.
You are the right man, the Minister for Entertainment, you are.
Good on you, Bossy. Thanks so much, mate.
Good on you, TK. Great to see you, mate.
Look forward to catching up.
Yeah, we will. Thank you.
There he is, the champion jockey, 91 Group 1s. I will correct myself there, 91 Group 1s. Glen Boss, our reigning champion as far as the Everest is concerned. And don't forget, you can still get those micro slots. They're still available. Go to the website, myrunners/myeverest.com.au. It's going to be a big day on October 17th. Thanks again to Glen Boss.